Hi, it's Amal Regnault from Women in French Tech. We are here in Women's Forum and we are happy to welcome Maria Faury. Please, Maria, introduce yourself.
Okay, hello. Also, my name is Maria Faury. I work at CEA. It's a French company involved in research. It's a public organization, and the motto is from research to industry, and it's more focused on energy and life science and matter science. And at CEA, I'm responsible for large research infrastructures and international partnership.
Wow, and you are a woman.
And I'm a woman, yes.
And why are you here in Women's Forum?
Well, I'm here because I met recently Chiara Corazza. At the beginning of my career, I was quite involved in women networks. I started my career in nuclear energy, and so I was part of the Women in Nuclear. And then later on my career,
How many women in this field?
in nuclear, I don't know the figures, but
No, about your time.
it's not very feminine. But I graduated from an engineering school, and I remember that at that time we were like 20%. So it's not much in scientific fields. And so she told me about Women's Forum, and she invited me, and so this is how I ended up here, and I'm very happy, especially because it's in Singapore, and I have some specific links with Singapore because we have launched 1 year and a half ago a common lab between CEA and NTU in Singapore. And this is the first common lab that CEA is launching abroad. And it's dealing with circular economy, so more devoted to recycling of electronic waste. And so I was very happy to combine, this visit in Singapore because of this, and also here I'm meeting so inspiring persons, male and female. So I'm very happy, and I think that I will go home with a lot of energy and enthusiasm.
As you know, our audience are mostly tech.
Yes.
So let's talk about this project.
So this common lab is called SCARS. It stands for Singapore CEA Alliance Research on Circular Economy. And so the idea is to putting in common our competences between CEA and NTU, and try to mature our techniques in recycling, and to find connections with industries and startup, and to see how to make this transfer from research to industry.
Are we at the beginning of the project, or is already launched?
So it has been launched officially by the AMICOR, the state secretary in Singapore. That was in March this year. And so we have a funding from the National Environment Agency in Singapore for 3 years. And I think that most important of all, this is the first step, but we are looking for a long-term commitment with Singapore on this topic. Especially while Singapore is a small country with land is scarce, and so all these issues are very important, and they're very dynamic on this issue about zero waste. And 2019 is the zero waste. It's towards the zero waste in Singapore, so it makes sense.
So if you want to recruit some startups, please go and ask for it, because this is our audience.
Okay.
So if you need...
So if you are interested in developing techniques or transferring techniques in the field of recycling, metallic recycling, electronic, electric waste, please join us, and we will happy to work together.
So your panel will be on inclusive future.
Yeah.
Future. How the Commission of Energy and and research. What subject do you on gender diversity do you bring on the table? Are
Well,
you working on those issues?
yes, I'm working. As a matter of fact, I'm director of large research infrastructure, and to this respect, I am board of I'm in board of directors of large research infrastructures, and so I have the feeling that I have this opportunity, to make the senior management of these large research infrastructure that are mostly run by men, just aware of the figures and try to challenge them, but in a positive way. I'm not aggressive, but to challenge them about, when they have search committees, is there always a woman in the panel? When they are thinking about succession plan, do they have women, and how do they make them develop and helping them in being ready to, take leadership jobs? Because in science, it's a problem. There are not that many women in graduating from science, and it really depends on the domains. And you have to attract them, to retain them, and then also to develop them.
How
And
do you do it in your organization?
in my case, that will be through mentorship.
Okay. By men or by women?
Both.
Both.
It has to be both. Trying to develop a working environment, going to schools. So these are, some
Initiative.
local initiative. And then in France, we also have some legal initiatives, and there's just a new law about gender equality index, and I'm using this index, especially in the boards of the infrastructures where I'm in.
Can you talk about more this?
Sure. So
index?
this index, it makes that starting in September, every company more than 250 employees have to display on the website index that is calculated on the discrepancy between women and men on salaries, parity on the 10 top highest salaries between men and women, the promotion rate for men and women, etc. And so it gives you a score up to 100. And if you have a score below 75, so this score you have to display it on the website and to communicate it, just to make collective and individual awareness. And if you are below 75, you have to put an action plan. And after 3 years, if you haven't improved, then you can have a fine, penalties, and it's up to 1% payroll. And I take advantage of this new law, especially for we have a European large infrastructure in France, so they are under French law, synchrotrons, nuclear reactors to provide neutrons for science. And I like to use this tool because in these boards, these are international boards, and so when I ask this question at the management, what's your scores and what's your action plan? The other directors of boards also hear about it, and so they get also aware. And when I'm very happy is that when I'm not the one asking the question, but it's a male colleague from another country, and they say, okay, I succeeded here.
Definitely. So, do you have any other message that you want to share with our audience?
Yeah, maybe one message is for female here is you have to gain visibility, especially in STEM. Visibility and to get more impact. Not more impact for yourself, visibility for yourself, but for your colleagues and for the younger generation, because there's a true need for role models, and we have to get into this virtuous spiral, and so don't think about. I know that women often, especially in STEM, we we're not so vocative, and but I think we need to be more visible and to help the youngest generation to embrace these careers, which are really fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.